Yo, what's up, guys? I know I've been MIA for a little bit, just been trading and just doing my thing with the Discord. If you guys aren't part of it, you should definitely sign up. It's a free week trial. The signals that we give out usually hit, so you can make your money back if you want to join, or take the free week of signals, make some money, and then leave us. That's totally fine with me. But I wanted to hop on here and tell you guys you should definitely join the Discord. Number one. And number two, I was going to give out a scanner on TradingView that may help you swing some options. So I don't know if you guys are into options. I'm starting to dabble in them a little bit more. I used to trade them a lot back in the day, like last year, and I would lose a bunch of money on them. So that's why I switched to futures. But there's a scanner that can help you swing them, and I think you may like it. So I was going to put it out there for you guys to check out and try out for yourself. So a lot of people, I don't think, utilize the TradingView scanner enough. It's super powerful. It's just down here at the very bottom. So if you want, let's see, what am I doing here? Oh God. So it's down here at the very bottom. There's stock screener right here. Bring it up. You have stock screener, and right here you can go to filters. So this is my current filter settings. So you can filter on anything. You can filter on description. You can filter on financials. They literally have everything. EPS forecast, recent earnings date, EBITDA. They literally have anything that you could think of filtering on. You can do percent change of the 5 minute, 15 minute, weekly, monthly performance, RSI, year to date. You can do exponential moving average crossing over and things like that. So this is a super powerful tool that I think if you're using options and trading equities is something you should be utilizing. But let's go to what I use it for. So they even have like MACD, Bollinger Bands, like all this shit. So what I like to do though is I like to filter first on market cap. So I like the large cap stocks. I'm not here to trade options on penny stocks because I don't think you can do that. You want to trade the large cap stocks. So what I filter on is 10 billion and higher, 10 billion up to 2 trillion. So these are the large cap names. These are like your household names that most people know. Relative volume, next thing. So actually, next thing, average volume, 30-day. I do at least 1 million shares average volume. You want something that is traded a lot. So filtering on 1 million, maybe even 2 million might even be better, but you want something with a lot of liquidity because options are also usually have a tighter spread on things that are more traded. Okay. Average true range, I like to filter on at least two, if not higher. So this is a stock that moves on average more than $2 in a given day. Okay. So we want stuff that, tends to move pretty big. You don't want to be trading something that really doesn't move. So like your Coca-Cola, that's not going to show up here. Your IBM probably not going to be showing up. Those stocks that don't really move a lot and kind of like the household names like that, those are not going to be in here. But your things like your Tesla, your Amazon, all these other like your biomed stocks, things like that, those are going to show up here. And then lastly, we want to filter on relative volume. And so I like to have this above 1.2. So this means that the relative volume on the day is going to be 120% or higher than any other day. So what we're essentially doing is getting the large cap stocks that are really traded, that move a lot, and that have high relative volume. Typically, relative volume, if it's high, will correlate to relative strength or weakness. Okay. So that's what you want to look at going into a swing because these are going to be options that we buy at the end of the day and we swing them into the next day anticipating a move to continue from the previous day. Okay. So these are the four filters that you're going to use. And then you're going to make sure this is filtered on the daily time frame. You can filter on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15, so and so. But leave it on the daily. And then for the things that I like to look at, Pre-market change percent doesn't really matter too much. I like to have a column here for relative volume and then percent change as well. So if you want that, you can go to column setup, type in what you want the columns to look like, and then either check them on or off. So you can check, percent change, pre-market percent change, relative volume I would keep on there. And yeah, so then you can create your columns that you like. And then if you want to save that over here, this is where you save your columns and you can type in whatever you want. I just have it as everything. So we got our columns on that. We have our filter on right here, and I call this stocks to swing. So stocks to swing right here. Okay. And yeah, you should be good to go. So now you can look at all these stocks. And these are the ones that have at least 120% relative volume on the day. So Capital One has 120%. You can filter down. Looks like Lulu had the highest relative volume. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to close this out so we can look a little closer here. So Lulu has earnings, and so that's kind of why relative volume was the highest here. We were showing a hammer. This white line is actually what happened to Lulu after the fact. So earnings came out and they dumped. I don't like to trade earnings, so usually I leave that. Usually I won't touch anything that has that. Next highest was APTV. So look at that. You get this big daily drop candle on high volume. So I'm not sure what that is. I don't really trade that too often or ever actually. So you may have to filter some of these out. And so what also I like to do is go to create like a blue list or a red list. And you can do that by right clicking anything and flagging it as red, blue, green, orange, whatever. And once you go to the blue list, you can filter. So these are like your main stocks that you trade options on: Apple, Airbnb, AMD, Baba, and all the way down. You got your Tesla, Walmart, Zoom, Nvidia, all those. So you can filter also this search on a color. So if you want to filter on your stocks that you normally like to trade, you can go blue. And so here we have three matches. We have Lulu, Fang, and Nvidia. I thought there was one more. I know what happened. I already placed a trade and it's on my red list now. Let me go back to blue here. So out of my blue list, I have four stocks. Lulu was one. They had earnings, so we didn't like them. I'm not going to take a lot on earnings. Datadog. This one had 172% relative volume. And look at that volume on the daily. Big, massive volume, strong candle. I actually swung calls on this, anticipating this to follow through to the upside. So they were up 8% today. Pretty big gain, but I'm hoping that this strength will follow through into the next day. And so that's one I did take. Nvidia, I was thinking about taking. This one also, look at that. Relative volume really high. Very strong candle on the breakout of this trend right here. We do have the 200-day moving average right above, so that's a little iffy. I was contemplating taking that, but I took Datadog instead. Okay. And then we did have Fang Energy. Really strong drop through the 200-day moving average and really high volume. So those were four stocks that you could have taken puts or calls on based on the relative strength of them. So it looks like they have a little bit of a gap fill down here too. So this may end up following through. But that was a good play too. And if you don't filter on stocks you like, there's a ton to choose from. Let's go to T-Mobile. T-Mobile, massive drop on super high volume. This could possibly break the lows here. We're coming into a support area on really strong volume. So this is something that you could have taken as well. What's Chewy look like? Chewy was one that we used to trade, or I used to trade a lot. Looks like they had earnings. Don't want to trade that. Striker. This one had pretty strong volume on the breakout here. You can see that on the daily. And what you want to do is run this scan about 15 minutes prior to close. because that's where most of the volume's already come in. So you're going to know kind of what to swing, and there's not going to be anything that catches you off guard. Because normally at the beginning of the day, volume really hasn't come in on the day. There hasn't been a lot of moves, so this isn't going to show anything. But if you wait till about 20 to 15 minutes prior to close and run this scan, you'll catch a bunch of stocks that had a bunch of relative volume on the day. You got 3M. They had decent volume. Looks like they rejected. What else? EA. So they had some strong volume at support here. Maybe could have taken a call on that. What else? Dick's Sporting Goods. What does their chart look like? Very strong breakout. That looks really nice. Looks like you may have been able to catch that yesterday too, or the previous day. If you swung calls the previous day here, I guarantee that Dick's showed up on this scanner right here because you have high relative volume right here. On a hammer, on a pullback, looks like a flag. Looks like you would have made out pretty well. And now, one thing to note is that not all of these are going to be up right away. So if you swung a call on Dick's right here, it opened up down, but you had to wait a little bit for it to come back. So looks like if you swung a call here, right? You swung it at 116. You did open up at 115.34, but then you got a massive push right at open for about $5. And you could have sold at the highs for probably, pending if you took the Friday expiration or even a week out, anywhere from probably 30% to I would say 100% on that move. Looks like Google actually had some high relative volume on the day. Ooh, so that pulled back, kind of broke the lows here, high volume. That's a tougher one. So what I also like to do is look for charts that are really clean, charts that are showing like a hammer at the lows, maybe a rejection at the highs, things like that. So that's why I took Datadog. We'll see if it pays off tomorrow, but very high volume here. Last time it had this volume like this right here, look, we opened up. So say you swung, okay, we had 75. We closed this day at what, 75, 50-ish? Maybe you take the 76 calls. The next day you ran up till 78. Let's see what that day looks like. I'm curious. So this is the day right here. You would have taken calls right here at 75.80. You open up a little bit under it, but you get a massive push right at open for another $3, and your swings would have been up. So definitely something to look for. I hope that helps. I think I went over everything. These are the 4 filters you want to filter on: market cap, relative volume, average true range. If you want to up that to 3, you definitely can. Let's see what that would do for us. See if that would filter out a little bit more. Yes, that filters out a little bit more. 35 versus, what was it before? 2 versus 48. Maybe even going to 4. If you go to ATR of 4, you get 25 matches. So that's a little bit easier to filter through at the end of the day. Palo Alto, they had some decent strength to the downside. So if you wanted, you could also filter these on change, So maybe you want to go for anything that was down on the day, you filter on the percent change down, or anything that was up on the day, you filter on the green. Looks like Mongob. I don't even know what that is, but that had pretty strong breakout there. Datadog was the second highest on the chart, so we're going with the strength and hoping it follows through tomorrow. Looks like Team had some strength here. Team actually looks really good for a breakout. Maybe like on something like this, possibly looking for maybe take a swing like a week out and look for this gap to fill up to the 50-day moving average. That's not a bad play at all. So yeah, there's tons of possibilities with this scanner. So I hope that helps. If you are trading stocks too, you can do a pre-market scanner as well. So I have one here, pre-market scanner. And kind of the same thing, but all it is market cap 10 billion up, average volume again 1 million and higher, average true range I do 3, and pre-market percent change. So this basically just scans for gaps. Okay, so it's outside of -3% or 3%. So this is anything that's gapping down more than 3% or up more than 3%. Let's look at it on the day. So we had Baidu. What does that chart look like? Had a nice gap up. Looks like it didn't move a whole lot during the day, so that was kind of tough. Baba, same thing. That one had a nice push it open. Looks like a lot of the China stocks were up. Team was up, so this would have been really nice. So this scanner would have caught Team, and then you get a massive run at open. So Team pushed up 130 and then ran to 135 in about 45 minutes. So that was really nice. What else was up on the day? Dexcom. That's about it. Let me see if we filter this down. Average true range of 2. See if there's anything else. Yeah, I get a couple more matches. Let's see. Nothing that's really tradable or nothing that's normally traded a lot. Mostly your China stocks. But yeah, so definitely something to scan if you're into scanning for stocks, anything that you want that's in play. But since I'm not really trading options too much during the day and mostly futures, I like to look for these ones end of day that have that strength. So we'll see what the open brings tomorrow. We do have PPI tomorrow, so that's going to kind of tell us if we're going to pump or not, because that tends to move us a lot. But I hope that helps. I think it's a cool scanner. Lots of value there. Datadog was just beautiful. So yeah, I would definitely use that to your advantage. You can catch some nice swings on options. Whether you want to go like a month or a week out or same week expiration, that's totally up to you. But this will give you some pretty good plays, as you can see. So that's going to be it for the video. If you like this, please come and join our Discord. You know, it's free to try for a week. We have different levels as well. So there's the trading floor, the boardroom, and the executive level. Trading floor comes with a free week. You can do that for a week, cancel it, then go to the boardroom, get another free week. So really you can get half a week or half a month of free game basically, just by cancel or joining and canceling. So there's really no reason not to join us. We're printing every day. So come join us, come pay for your membership on our call outs. And yeah, hope to see you guys there. And I hope this video helps you guys. Thanks.